Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Hillary Heschauer from Rangeline Chiropractic, and I am here with my friend Ann Christina. She is one of the founders of Wild Sage. It's a wonderful tea company, and if you've been in my office recently, you've seen that we serve the tea every day. We have an anti-inflammatory blend that's specific to our office, and we sell that blend in our office. And Christina, thank you so much for being on today.
Thanks for having me, Hillary. It's always great to talk to you.
I know. Can you start off by telling us like why you got in the business of tea?
Absolutely. So my co-founder and I, Ashley, who's not with us today, so I'll be speaking for both of us. We are both trained health coaches, and we actually met while we were going through health coaching school back in 2013, I believe it was. And so we've been friends since then, kind of, on and off, stayed in touch and been catching up over the years. And then back in the spring of 2021, we met up again after, obviously with the pandemic, it had been a long time since we had seen each other. We met up for a walk on the Monon, and that's when this whole idea arose of starting a tea company. We had both started studying herbal medicine with different teachers. And so we were both like, we love health coaching. But Ashley had been running a functional medicine clinic with her husband, who's a doctor. And so she was kind of stepping back because she had some health challenges of her own. And so this idea had come up, and we just both felt like, it was the universe speaking to us, that just brought us together on that walk that day. And so that's when the idea of Wild Sage Tea Company was born. Then we both had plans over the summer. I always go back to my home country of Denmark to see family. And so we split up for a while, and then we reconvened in the fall in August. And that's when we started, working on building this company. And our mission is to reconnect modern people with the healing benefits of herbs. We were both like just so blown away about what we were learning with herbal medicine, our own experiences with herbs, and we both love tea. And so it was just kind of like, it just seemed like a natural thing. And it's been just so much fun developing all these blends, using our skills and knowledge as health coaches. And also so I'll speak a little bit about our company with this, but we have a wellness line that focuses on different health challenges, and basically kind of based on what we were seeing with our clients, gut challenges, digestive issues, detoxification challenges, inflammation was a huge one, and then sleep and stress, right? So those basic things that a lot of us modern people are struggling with. So we have blends targeted specifically for each of those sort of health challenges. And then we have a charity line where we give back 10% of the sales to local charities. And that arose because, we wanted to find a way where we could give back to the community and kind of be involved. But more than just, giving donations, we wanted to also help amplify the voices of those organizations and spread awareness in our community and through our customer network. And that has been, I think, one of the most rewarding things is like, working with these wonderful organizations, being able to support them, even though at this point, we're a small company, so it's not like we're donating thousands of dollars by any means, but it's exciting to think that as we grow, we can donate more. And so that's just been really fun.
That's awesome. What's your top selling tea?
I think our top selling tea, I actually have it right here. It is called Soothe. Mm-hmm. You can see it. Sometimes I can't seem to turn it the right way. There we go.
Right to your face there.
Right. It supports inflammation, interestingly, right? So it's like your tea. And when I'll get back to that too when we make the tea for you, because that's something that, your clients are struggling with as well. But I think, first of all, inflammation is just such a common issue. It's kind of the root cause of all disease, and it manifests in so many different ways. And then I think the reason Soothe is so popular too is that it just has a really nice flavor. Like it's, I don't personally struggle with inflammation, but I drink Soothe all the time just because I absolutely love it. It's so delicious. It has turmeric root, ginger root, licorice root, and rose. It's just such a exquisite combination, I think, of herbs and flavors. So I think that's a top selling one. But we do have, we do have a few of them that tends to be more popular. But overall, I think I would say all of them kind of they sell more or less equally. But then there's just a few like our gut blend, gut feeling it's called, and Soothe are probably the most popular ones.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I love about our blend that we have at the office is the licorice in it. So when patients try it, they're like, "Oh, this is sweet. There's no sweetener in it." And I was like, "That's the licorice. We're
Yeah.
like, you don't need to add anything to this tea." And so getting people away from adding the honey and the sugar, which is just going to inflame you even more, like just having the natural licorice. And people go, "I don't like licorice." I'm like, it's not the licorice that you're thinking of. It's just a subtle sweetness to it that just gives you the right amount of like flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, licorice root is one of our favorite herbs too, for its health benefits. It's such an amazing herb, but it also just has such a nice flavor. And interestingly, my husband, who is not a tea drinker, he's kind of like, okay, tea is for pregnant people or sick people, like that's not his thing. But he has absolutely fallen in love with Soothe because he actually really loves licorice root, so he'll drink straight licorice root tea.
Oh, wow.
And then I think that's why he liked the Soothe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree with your blend. It was really fun to make like a custom blend because we already had, like I said, this inflammation blend, and then you wanted an inflammation blend as well. And thankfully, with herbs, it's there's so many herbs that work as anti-inflammatories. So it wasn't hard to come up with a different combination. It was just a matter of finding something that would fit sort of the personality of what you wanted. So and you were liking spices like cinnamon and cloves which are both anti-inflammatories. And so I think that blend is such a nice reflection of, I think, just your personality, kind of like, some
Spicy. I see that kind of spicy.
and it's just really, it's a really nice blend. I've been drinking a version of that with a little orange peel over the holidays. But it's such a nice, comforting drink, and it's a really good, I think, alternative to coffee. Mm-hmm. Sometimes if you're used to drinking something like coffee and you're trying to switch over to tea or just more less caffeinated beverage, certain herbal teas, it's a huge shift. Whereas your blend, because it has a chicory root and the cinnamon and clove, like it's just a more sort of heartier blend. So it's really nice as an alternative, I think, to coffee, and you can drink it at night, which is amazing.
Yeah, I like it. I think of it as bold. I don't know if that's a real T word or not.
Yeah,
it's more bold and bodied.
Yeah.
And also, I've been wanting to try it, but I never have it around. Is with some like almond milk with it too.
Yeah, I think that's really nice.
It has that cinnamon and nutmeg in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to make like a little latte, I think that would work really well. Mm-hmm. It is a really nice blend. So I'm glad that your patients seem to be liking it as well.
I know our first 2 weeks, I think we sold out of all of it. And I was calling and like, we need more, quick.
I know. And it was just around the holidays where we were a little bit challenged getting cinnamon because that gets out of stock a lot. So thankfully we were able to retrieve some organic cinnamon because that's another thing about our company. We only use all organic herbs and teas. So sometimes it gets challenging because, we don't want to compromise on that. But then, especially with the pandemic and everything, supply chain issues, of course, have been affecting everybody. But so far we've been okay. But sometimes it's just you have to go through different sales channels. And so we're trying to work on that. Well, we also don't add any natural flavors or any perfumes or additives or anything like that. Obviously, no sugars. Mm-hmm. And so we really want to reconnect people with the flavor of real herbs, real teas, because a lot of our food, a lot of our drinks, there's so many different flavors added. I don't know if you've noticed in your food, and it looks so innocently, it says natural flavors. Mm-hmm. However, the problem is it's a highly unregulated term. You can pretty much put anything in there, and it's not really regulated by the FDA. So it's just one of those, like it's you can get some really nice flavors, but it's also really not, if you get a natural flavor of raspberry or peach, that's not really what that tastes like. And I think too with our kids, like it's just in everything. So we just want to be like, okay, you got to teach people what real food tastes like, what real herbs taste like, what real teas taste like, without all this added stuff, because it's not really good for us.
Yeah. Tell us about, so all the tea is loose leaf. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about loose leaf? Because a lot of patients ask about that and how are they going to make their tea?
Absolutely. That's a big a good question. So I will say I've always been sort of a tea aficionado. I've always just had kind of a crazy compulsive shopping issue with tea. So, probably a year ago, you would find up to like 30 to 50 boxes of tea bags in my pantry.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like just, every time I'd be like, oh, I'll pick up a box. And I would just gravitate toward the sachets or the tea bags because it's so convenient, right? And so as a busy mom and, I wanted convenience. And I always knew loose leaf is better, right? But yeah, I just wanted convenience. But again, as with a lot of this health stuff, sometimes you just got to go through a process of learning. And then the more times you hear something, the more likely you are to actually go and change it. So the deal with loose leaf teas is, of course, that you use the loose leaves. So you extract more of the compounds that if you look at a tea bag, you'll see that it's often polarized.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't really get those loose leaves. Again, it's hard to know what was this really before it became a powder, and what was the quality of the herb and all this kind of stuff. And what I have found is that it's actually, once you have the right tools, it's super, super easy to do loose leaf. Another problem with, and I'll get back to the tools, but another problem with the tea bags that really deterred me from using them is that it's been a huge source in recent years. They found a lot of microplastics in those tea bags and endocrine disruptors. Again, unfortunately, food packaging is such an issue because there's just so many chemicals in the packaging. And I think especially concerning were those microplastics in the tea bags and chemicals. And even if you buy like a nice organic tea bag, if you're getting microplastics and chemicals from the sachet, it kind of defeats the purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have the right tools, and as we were speaking about earlier, Hillary, there's lots of different options. It's really about finding what works for you. So for me and Ashley as well, this has become our new best friend. It's a little stainless steel tea steeper where you just put the loose leaves or your tea basically in here. And it has a little lid. It's a little bit hard to show here because I'm not really good at working the camera angles, but you cover your tea when you brew it. So you kind of keep the volatile essential oils of the tea in. So then when you're done, you plop it out and then you have your tea. So you brew this directly in your mug.
Okay.
You can also use, I think what you have been giving out are these little reusable organic cotton tea bags that you can use, and you just, use them. You obviously put the teas in here. You use it as a little steeper. You take it out and you just rinse it out. You can also get these in disposable forms online. Of course, we like to be sustainable whenever we can. We have these little gift boxes. These aren't unpacked, but most people are probably familiar with little tea eggs. I have a pack here that we put in our gift boxes. So anything like that. This one I love just because it goes in the dishwasher. It's really easy to deal with, and you don't have to worry about stuffing it in anything. You put it in here, so it's easy. You can also I just got from my husband, who I said was just a newly tea drinker.
Yes.
To work every day. And so I got him this nice little French press cup on Amazon. That you brew your tea directly in the cup and you plunge it down like you would like French press coffee. So lots of different options. It's just about finding something that works that you will want to do every day and not feel like it's an inconvenience.
Yeah. And one thing that I do, so I use the little bags and then I dry them on the counter and then I just turn it inside out and just fluff out all the stuff. Can we use them like a second cup?
Oh, so reuse herbs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can with a lot of blends. You're gonna, of course, you're gonna get a milder flavor, but a lot of the blends, and I think your blend as well, you can reuse the herbs a second time. Maybe use a little bit less water. You might have to experiment with it, but we always, encourage people to try that because you just get more bang for your buck if you do that right.
So that's what I do, and I was like, I just wanted to ask to make sure I'm doing it correctly.
Absolutely.
That I enjoy. I do maybe 2 cups a day, and if not, I just hold it for the next day. Sometimes we even put it in the fridge if I know I'm not going to drink it soon, and then I use it for another cup, another round.
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely do that. It's just let's get as much out of those herbs as we possibly can. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
sustainability is it's wonderful.
yeah, I
That's
love
like
it.
that's great. And
Good.
then also, like you were saying, even if you brew up a cup of tea, and it could be really any kind of tea, I think all of our teas work iced or cold as well.
Mhm.
Actually, we have our liver hawk, our detoxification tea, um, the month of January. It's been a tea of the month.
Uh-huh.
And it has nettles in it and various other herbs that help support the liver. But that one I actually prefer ice or cold.
Oh, okay.
So, there's you can do that if you brew up a cup of tea, you're like, okay, I made a bit too much. I'm not going to be drinking it all warm. Just stick it in the fridge and drink it the next day. I would say up to 24 hours, you can leave it in the fridge.
Yeah, I have used our anti-inflammatory blend cold because if we have leftover, I just store it in my Yeti and then I
Yeah.
drink it the next day. I don't like
Absolutely. And that's when, if you even want to add a little bit of plant milk and do like a little cold latte kind of thing, would be probably really delicious.
I bet. So before we get off, can you tell me how people can get your tea? Obviously, they can get the Rangeline Relief at our office, but tell us where else they can find you and get, because you have a lot of good blends, and I have a different blend at home that I have for my home tea versus my office tea.
Right. Yeah. So we have we have a website with an online shop at wildsageteaco.com. I can put the link below this video when we're done. And, um, and then we're at the Broad Ripple Farmers Market. If people want to come see us in person, that we always hand out two different types of samples of teas at the market every Saturday at Broad Ripple Winters Farmers Market, if I can say it right, from 9 to 12 every Saturday. It's actually a really great market. It's some really cool vendors. So that's currently how you can, get in touch with us. We're also on social media at Wild Sage Chico. So come check us out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on and telling us about tea. I am almost done with this one, and I'm going to have to get some more going for the rest of the day.
Sounds great, Hillary. It's always great to talk to you. And I love you're always enthusiastic about, health and wellness of your family and clients. And so it's just always wonderful to be chatting with you.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you later, Hillary.